welcome to the jungle. Need to come out here and tend to some cucumbers and then some green beans. So we'll start over here with our cucumbers, excuse me. Funny part is trying to find them. Got one still growing right here. This one I don't think had much. I think it's the next one. Nope, here's one right here. All right, I'm not seeing any more that are ready on this vine, so I'm gonna go down to the next one. I'm actually gonna cut off some of these bigger limbs to help with visibility and airflow. Helps the bees to get in and pollinate too. There's one down here. I'm going to take this one, it's done. Whoa, I think I missed this one. Look at that. To give you a comparison, that's more what you want to shoot for when you're harvesting. So that'll be a fresh eating one. I saw one right here. I'm using the knife because it's kind of tough to get them off the vine. You can do it, but I'm trying not to damage the rest of the vine and the flowers that are around it. So I just gently take the knife so that I still get a little bit of the stem without doing damage. They'll last a little bit longer on your counter when you do that. You still want to tend to them really quickly to make pickles, but you can wait a day if you need to. Wow, I might have to go empty my pouch before I start in on the green beans. That's all of them. Got several little ones that are growing. A couple that need to go another day or two. I think that's all the big ones. I'm gonna go to the other side and check. Sometimes you can see a little bit better from the other side. It's amazing how you can miss them. Yeah, I don't see any more. Yeah, see, I've got one right here that's still really little. So that one needs to go for a couple more days. All right, let's go to the green beans and the other cucumber that I have. These are the sugar snap peas that I planted over here that were kind of getting crowded out by the beans, and I cut off some select leaves to give them some more sunlight, and now they're producing fruit. Even though it's been super hot here, it's still even flowering. We also have our solar shade up to help protect and take some of the heat off. And across from that, we have our other cucumbers. These are pretty low growing variety compared to the others. They haven't gotten as tall, so I have to look a little bit lower for the fruit. This is one of the ones that have been getting a little malformed, but they're still edible. Here's a nice one. They are starting to grow upward more so and cling on, so that's good. Wow. Look at that bunch right in there. These especially, it's important for me to use the knife because they're kind of growing in a cluster as opposed to one here and one there. And I really don't want to mess up the other flowers and the fruits that are growing. You can kind of see here all the flowers that are grouped together. Whoa, here's two that were hiding. Look at that. There's two more babies right beside it. So funny. All right, that is all I'm seeing that's ready on this one. I'll come back tomorrow and get the ones that are almost there. My pouch is pretty full, doesn't leave much room for the green beans I'm gonna harvest. I'm gonna go into the house and drop this off real quick, and then I'll be back to do beans. And this is where my cart is great because it lets me get down and not be bending over quite so much when I'm gonna be taking a lot of time like you will with green beans sometimes. As you can see here on the plants, we have a lot of beans growing. And I also have some older leaves. You can tell by the yellowing and browning that are done, and these are good to be taken off. So taking care of all that for the health of the plant is great. And you can just chop and drop those in your bed. Let me show you how to cut those. The leaves are on their own stem right here. So you can cut it right here. You can even break them off if you want, or you can cut it closer to here. Doesn't really matter, it just depends on what you want to do. And then just drop them in the middle of the bed to act as a mulch. As for the beans themselves, you can cut them if you want, but you really don't have to. You do want to be careful though on your pulling to try not to break the rest of the plant. So I tend to go up and give a light pull. This one is getting a little bit on the overdone side because the pods inside are getting a little bit thicker. I don't know if that comes across on the camera. This one's more slender. This one's starting to get the humps for the beans. You can still eat it. It's just a little bit tougher, a little bit chewier, but you can cook that down too. And again, just up and pull. I'm going to get all of these real quick and take off the dead and dying. These are starting to spot up and die, so I'm gonna go and pull them. And these beans right here are still pretty small. These aren't baby, but they're, I don't know, teenagers. They're not quite ready to be pulled. So I'm gonna leave the ones that are on this part of the plant there. So most of the beans that I've harvested, I have frozen. In fact, we just did a video recently about that, showing how I packaged them up and de-stemmed them. But I did wind up using on my new Blackstone that I got for Mother's Day from TBK. Thank you very much, sweetie. I grilled them in some, I believe I did bacon grease, but it may have been olive oil, and I just did a kind of a flash fry with them, and they turned out amazing. They were great. I have been loving the Blackstone. I've been doing all kinds of breakfast. It makes it great for my big family. And I've been doing things like grilled cheeses and quesadillas and pancakes and bacon and eggs and steaks. Yeah, these plants are just about done. Won't be too much longer and I'll be pulling them out actually. These 2 beans were laying on the ground and had gotten wet and bugs were chewing in them, as you can see. So we're gonna give these to the chickens. You could always cut them off and give that to the chickens or just compost them or whatever and eat the rest. But we have so many, I'm not worried about it. We can share. What I'm doing right now is I'm trimming up some of the lower leaves on our tomato plant here so that it'll help put growth and energy up into the upper part and growing the fruits that are going here. So whenever a plant's growing, it puts energy into growing everything, and we're growing tomatoes, as I heard it once, not leaves. So after it gets big enough, you want to cut off some of the lower leaves like this because we don't need them anymore. They're not helping to support the plant on the trellis. They're not really shading like they are up top. So we can get rid of it, and that'll help with letting the energy go up, but it'll also help with airflow down here and help keep mildew and things like that out. Fungus, all the things that can go. For this volunteer squash plant, I've got a cilantro growing here and it's really getting shaded out. So I'm gonna cut off some of these leaves so that more light can get to it. And hopefully it'll get bushier. Alrighty, these I take over and give to the animals.
The wind moves softly like a gentle sigh through whispers hidden where the trees lie. A melody flows where time stands still in twilight's arms on the quiet hill. Breathe with the earth, let the moment freeze. Echoes unfold in the breath of a flute feels so divine. Ethereal whispers carry us away, where dreams are born at the edge of day. Dirt on my hands, sun on my face, pulling the weeds, giving plants their spare space. Rose of green whisper secrets to me in this quiet world. I feel so free. Work in the garden.
Another pea plant. Oh, and it's got peas on it too. Sugar snap peas.
Harvesting life from the fertile land. Wholesome food, so pure, so sweet. Every bite feels like a gift complete. Tomatoes blushing in the summer glow. Zucchini hides where the tall leaves grow. Trimming the vines so they can breathe. A tender touch and the plants believe. Working the garden with my bare hands. Harvesting life from the fertile land. Wholesome food, so pure, so sweet. Every bite feels like a gift complete. The earth hums a tune beneath my feet, a rhythm of growth that's slow and sweet. Each root, each sprout has a tale to tell in this garden where my soul does dwell. Working the garden with my bare hands. Harvesting life from the fertile land.
Oh, hey, there's a ladybug.
So pure, so sweet. Every bite feels like a gift complete.
So how's y'all's gardening going this week? Is anything starting to grow? Is anything starting to produce for you guys up there, up north where you've had all the storms? Or is it just too mucky to be able to grow much? I'd love to hear in the comments below how y'all's gardens are doing. It's always inspiring to watch other people's gardens growing and see what they're growing and hear what they love and don't love, so you can try different things. Well, we're about finished with this bed. So I'm gonna go ahead and say goodbye. Thank you so much for joining me in the garden today so we could harvest some yummy green beans. Here's what we have so far, and all those delicious looking cucumbers earlier. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Be sure to like and subscribe down below so that you can catch our next videos and to help the channel out. We'll see you next time. Have a blessed day.